A godless man in charge of a wicked political structure will dominate the world during the coming tribulation. The Bible connects this end times ruler with a terrifying beast in Daniel and Revelation. The man is the Antichrist. He's referred to by different names in the Bible. He is the little horn in Daniel 7, the prince who is to come in Daniel 9, the man of lawlessness in 2 Thessalonians 2, the Antichrist in 1 John 2, the beast from the sea in Revelation 13. John experiences a terrifying vision of a dragon and two creatures in Revelation 13. This is the first time that the Antichrist is given a proper description. The Bible says, "The dragon stood on the shore of the sea, and I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on its horns, and on each head a blasphemous name. The beast I saw resembled a leopard, but had feet like those of a bear and a mouth like that of a lion. The dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority. One of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast. People worshiped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast, and they also worshiped the beast and asked, 'Who is like the beast? Who can wage war against it?' The dragon, or Satan, grants the first beast power as it emerges from the sea. This beast is a real abomination. It has 7 heads and 10 horns, each with a blasphemous name and 10 crowns. John says it has the appearance of a leopard, bear-like feet, and a lion's mouth. John's vision is similar to that of Daniel in Daniel 7. It is beneficial to study both Daniel and Revelation simultaneously. The word beast in Revelation describes 2 interconnected beings. The beast might also refer to an empire of the end times. Its 7 heads and 10 horns show that the beast will be a coalition of nations that rises to power to rule the earth under Satan's authority. The term "the beast" is used later in the book of Revelation to refer to a specific person, the one who serves as the monstrous empire's ruler and political figurehead. The beast will sustain a fatal wound and recover from it. Verse 8 describes how he will exercise power over the entire globe and demand worship. He will fight God's people, and for a while he will win the battle. However, according to Revelation 13 verse 5 and Daniel 7 verse 25, the beast's time will be limited. He will only be allowed absolute power for 42 months, or 3.5 years. We believe that the beast in Revelation is the Antichrist, the one who will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. All these are the Bible descriptions of the beast, also known as the Antichrist. But I don't really think we know how grave they will be. When speaking of the Antichrist, Dr. Ray Pritchard said, "When we come to the Antichrist, there are some things we know and some things we don't know. We know there will be an Antichrist. We don't know his identity. We know he rises from the revived Roman Empire. We don't know which part he comes from. We know he will work closely with the false prophet. We don't know the false prophet's identity. We know he will apparently die and come back to life. We don't know how that will happen. We know he will control the world economy. We don't know how he obtains that power. We know he requires his followers to wear his mark. We don't know the precise nature of the mark. We know that the number of his name is 666. We don't know exactly what that means. How exactly will the reign of the beast be? Are we already living in it? Or are things bound to get worse? We can certainly say that the beast is yet to be revealed. Some Bible prophecies have to happen before this can happen. And so we wonder, even with all the wickedness that is happening in the world, the reign of the beast is not yet upon us. How bad will his rule be? The Bible foretells a period of severe persecution for believers under the Antichrist dominion. Similar to that, we see a growing trend in today's world that marginalizes and restricts religious freedom. Christians in many parts of the world experience persecution in many ways, including social pressure, legal restrictions, and even physical assault. The degradation of individual liberty and a disregard for moral principles are alarming signs of a regime that aims to stifle dissent and impose total control. Christians and other religious minorities face discrimination and persecution in many nations. They are subject to governmental restrictions that limit their ability to freely declare their views, build houses of worship, or even practice their religion. Even though these limitations are apparently imposed for the sake of upholding social harmony or preventing religious discrimination, the truth is they are mechanisms used by non-believing rulers to silence believers. Furthermore, it might become more and more challenging for believers to practice their faith without coming under fire, being shunned, or even receiving threats. Christians are frequently excluded from numerous facets of public life because of their adherence to Christian principles and teachings that conflict with prevailing cultural standards. Violence against Christians and other religious minorities has increased to worrying proportions in various regions of the world. Worrisomely frequent instances include assaults on churches, kidnapping and forcing conversion of Christian girls, and targeted killings of Christians. These violent crimes aim to eliminate believers' presence and influence from society, in addition to terrorizing believers. Another worrying feature of the current trend toward persecution and control is the degradation of individual liberties, such as freedom of expression and conscience. Rules and regulations are being introduced more frequently to monitor and stifle alternative voices, silencing any resistance to the current prevailing beliefs. Due to the repression of free speech, people are forced into conformity because they are afraid of the repercussions of expressing their opinions or challenging the status quo. The promotion of beliefs that are at odds with biblical principles and the disrespect for moral standards also add to the beast system's ability to manipulate people. Relativism, where each person decides their own truth and morality, undermines traditional norms derived from religious beliefs. This relativistic viewpoint eliminates the objective foundation for moral standards, making it easier for those in power to manipulate and control society according to their own agendas. The Bible also prophesies that the beast will establish itself as a world ruler. It was given the power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them, and it was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. All inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast, all whose name have not been written in the Lamb's book of life, the Lamb who was slain from the creation of the world. Revelation 13, verse 7. This verse shows how powerful the beast will be. I want you to imagine how powerful someone who has the power over all nations, all tribes, and all people of the earth is. The beast will make the world like one small village. Globalization will be the key strategy in his rule. The world today is making great advancements towards that end. It is like we are living in one large city. One can travel from one end of the globe to the other within just a day. You can shop in America while in Asia. You can study in Europe while sitting in your room in Africa. This is how advanced we have become. The beast will control all economies. These are things we are seeing daily. He, the beast of the sea, also forced everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on his right hand or his forehead, so that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark. Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17. The world is moving towards a central currency. All this is setting stage for the rule of the Antichrist. The dominance of multinational firms, free trade agreements, global currencies, and international finance institutions is a result of the extraordinary amount of economic integration that globalization has facilitated. This concentration of economic power corresponds to the beast system described in the Bible, in which a single worldwide king rules over economic matters. The enormous influence these organizations have on governments, economies, and people resonates with the idea of a centralized economic order controlled by the Antichrist. Another sign of globalization is technological advancement, which has made the global transmission of information easier. The problem, however, is that it has also ushered in a new era of monitoring. With the ability to monitor and track people's every movement, surveillance technology, biometric identification systems, and the collection of personal data, the beast will have unprecedented control over humans, according to biblical prophecy. And the crazy thing is, all this is happening. Take AI, for instance. It represents a significant technological advancement with the potential for immense control and influence. As AI continues to evolve, it empowers systems and machines to process vast amounts of data, make complex decisions, and even mimic human intelligence. This level of control and influence over various aspects of society echoes the idea of the beast having dominion and exercising control over people and nations. Global governance institutions and structures have been created as a result of globalization in an effort to handle global issues and promote intergovernmental collaboration. The consolidation of power inside these institutions, meanwhile, raises worry about the future intrusions on national sovereignty and echoes the prophecy of a beast system where a global ruler usurps power over nations. The quest for supernatural governance encourages consideration of power consolidation and potential effects on personal liberties. There are benefits and risks associated with the sharing of cultural ideas and values in today's globalized society. Globalization promotes cultural homogeneity, where dominant cultures mold and influence others, even as it celebrates cultural variety. According to biblical prophecy, the Antichrist will use cultural manipulation to destroy religious belief and create their own authority. The wide acceptance of relativism and the denial of objective truth reflect the spiritual deceit connected with the beast's rule. Despite all of these, the Bible assures us that eventually the beast will be vanquished and his empire destroyed when the Lord makes his judgmental appearance, Revelation 19, verses 19 and 20, and Daniel 7, verse 11. The beast will be sent into the lake of fire while still alive. Even though we may not know him, and he poses a real threat, we can rest in God's assurance that victory will be ours in the end.